Okay, we got a Mark 7.5 R in today for kind of some troubleshooting. He also wanted to dyno it, but he's having an issue and he's hoping that we can kind of hammer out what it might be. He thinks it might be a boost leak, but after chatting with him for a while, when he dropped the car off, I don't think that's going to be the case. So I have some other suspicions what it might be. So I went through it, did a quick check, make sure there was nothing that could be related to a boost leak. And then we got it strapped on the dyno now to get some data to really see what's going on with it. So to kind of go over what is in this thing, it does have the DBV2 version 1 turbo upgrade in it. It has the Precision Raceworks multi-port injection kit with a low pressure fuel pump upgrade as well. It does have an upgraded front mount intercooler. I don't know which one it is, but I will find out and put it in the comments. It also has a upgraded CTS downpipe. It has stock map sensors, stock intake box, and stock low pressure fuel pump. Upgraded plugs, and that's pretty much it from what I know. So we're gonna, obviously it's already strapped down the dyno, we're gonna start doing some runs with it and start going through the data and see what we can find, what this might be. It is running COBB Accessport, but with a stratified tune. We're not a dealer for them or anything like that, so we're just gonna try to go through, see what we might be able to find, and maybe help him get the tune adjusted if it is tune related, and then he can make some changes from there. So let's get to it. Okay, so let's do the first run on this one. Pretty impressive. Okay, first one did 415, 406. That is a impressive number, actually. I wasn't expecting to see this turbo hit over 400, but clearly it's proved me wrong. So we're probably gonna repeat this and see what kind of numbers we can get out of this thing. Also, we've got to dig through the logs, stuff like that. Part of the reason why this one's here, as I would have mentioned. So yeah, 415, 406. Okay, we're a few runs in now, and I think I've captured what is actually going on here. It was kind of my theory that he wasn't so much having a boost leak issue, but potentially hitting boost cut, and which is why he sees the fluctuation in boost, because after it happens, he said it would always go back through and go back up to like 29 pounds of boost. And I've done a few runs now. Basically, it's pretty consistent. It's done 413 to 422. The 422 run is actually the run which I can show you on the graph, where looking at the data, and it correlates to the dyno graph where it actually spikes up a little bit. And I think that's what's killing it, is that it's riding the map sensor, and the other runs where it hasn't happened, it's staying within the limits of the map sensor. So we're gonna probably do one or two more just to kind of back it up and see if I can make it happen again. But everything's kind of pointing to that. The runs that are all clean, everything seems to be good. Boost is where it should be. And the one that seems to have caused the problem that he's talked about is the one that it did clip the max PSI for this thing. So we're gonna do another run and see what we can do. Okay, that one was 415, 405 torque. Super flat, super consistent. The data all shows that it's within margin. Everything looks good, so there's no weird anomalies there. We've done 4 or 5 runs so far, and I think that's honestly going to be it. We captured what I believe is is the problem. On the road, there would be a bit more load on the engine, all four wheels spinning when there's limited traction and stuff like that. Plus this car weighs a little bit heavier than the drum, so which would be more likely to cause it to spike a little bit more than on the dyno. So he has a little bit of stuff and lots of data to go back to Stratified, excuse my phone, to go back to Stratified and get the tune adjusted just a little bit. It's really close from looking at it. Timing could be adjusted maybe just slightly, but I think the biggest problem that was with this thing was the boost is essentially trying to overshoot from time to time. So let's get out, I'll show you the grass, and we'll wrap this thing up. Okay, before we wrap this one up, a few things that I've kind of noticed in the last couple of videos. We do really appreciate the feedback and everything and all the comments everybody says. And we do enjoy sharing with everything, but one thing I do want to mention is that we have to remember we're not a YouTube channel, we're a shop first. So there's lots of things, much like this video, that we're just trying to get the work done and out the door to keep the client happy, and we're trying to share some of that as we do it. So there's definitely going to be cases where people are going to want to see more detail of this or ins and outs of this and that. We're doing our best to share what we can. Maybe someday the channel will grow and we can spend more time focusing specifically on making content. But right now, we're really struggling to juggle, the best of each thing we can do, like share a bit of content and also focus on the car that we have here, because that's the main task. So on that note, again, as always, we do really appreciate the comments. We do get calls and emails and comments from all over the place. So in the comments below, tell me where you're from. We're located in Canada. Most people don't really realize that, but let me know where you guys are from down in the comments below. So about this R, as I mentioned before, on one of the runs, and the data backs it, we have a spike right here, and the horsepower, everything kind of shows it. It made 18 more horsepower than basically every other run, and that's because it's running into the limits of the map sensor. From what I can tell, there's nothing else indicating all the other runs ran smooth. The differences between the torque on these runs are essentially the difference between doing a run in 4th and doing a run in 5th gear. This is a DSG car, so that just causes a little bit more load on the engine, which is why the torque comes up. But this spot right here is where the data shows it's riding the map sensor, and I believe that's where he's seeing the problem. And also you can kind of notice the power comes up really hard and then kind of falls down. That's part of what's happening there. So there's a few things that need to be just tweaked ever so slightly from the looks of it, and I'm sure he's going to be super pumped that we've kind of provided lots of data. It's really hard to try to log a car, as some of you guys would know, in 4th and 5th gear on the highway safely. So this is the perfect place to do that. There's lots of good info. He can go back to them and hopefully get this thing just tweaked ever so slightly. It's very impressive numbers, especially on our 91 octane. These cars are savage on the street, and I'm sure he has a blast with this thing. So if you have any questions or comments, be sure to ask them below. And until the next video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.